I don't know about any of you ladies and gentlemen out there, but sometimes I'm afraid. And I'm talking about the kind of fear that's not like of bugs or snakes or other people's opinions. I live in a home where recovery is taking place from various addictions. And the only reason I say that is because my dad and mom are very advanced in their thinking, and fear comes into place in a minute here. I had never realized until I watched someone's video about literally 2 years ago, who's a weight loss person in the community, and he talked about how negative emotions all relate to fear. And I talked to my mom about that, and I said, well, if I'm angry at somebody for something, what am I really afraid of? And she said, well, maybe you're afraid you're going to lose their respect. Maybe you're afraid you're going to lose, I don't know. And it's that kind of thinking that I don't want to say I like. I don't like being afraid, but I like someone who can break it down. I mean, I have a friend who got a fairly big recognition the other day. And it wasn't that I've been trying just as hard as they have. To be honest, I haven't. But I thought, why am I so jealous that they're getting this recognition? And I didn't even talk to my mom about it because I knew what it was. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it. And if I would put in the work, that might happen for me. I even get jealous here of people's, you know, view counts and stuff. And even though I've talked about, it's views and the content should be what would matter, that's still true. But when I get jealous of things like that, part of me knows I'm not as advanced of a thinker as my parents are. They would have deeper seated reasons than I do. But I would like to think when I'm jealous of things, I'm afraid with my physical ability that I eventually won't be able to do it anymore. I may not be, not here on the planet, that'll eventually happen too, but here in this house. I may be at a assisted living facility, and that won't happen for a while yet as far as I know. But this video has a point, believe me. I want you, whenever you're having an emotion that's negative, to think it through and think, I'm angry. But what am I afraid of? I'm sad. What am I afraid of? And even though I have fears and a lot of emotions you don't see here, and I feel like I'm semi-fraudulent, but I mean, I don't want to come online and go, you know what? I'm angry. Because it's just, I mean, it festers inside me anyway, but sometimes to come on YouTube and say it doesn't do the same as sitting down with a friend or a family member or whatever and say, you know what? I may be afraid, but right now what I know is I'm angry. And I need to tell you that I'm angry. Or I'm sad. I need to tell you I'm sad. I'm jealous. I need to tell you this. And fear's underneath all of it. I now know that. I think I knew it all along. I just didn't know what I was afraid of. But I'm usually afraid of losing something. Mobility, respect, other people's perceptions of me may change. I get afraid of that stuff. Believe me, people have told me, I'm like Dr. Phil, and I know that's humorous, but I'm glad if I can help people. But what I want every man and woman that watches this to know is you help me a lot. When I'm afraid of or jealous of something like I've already talked about, you, ladies and gentlemen, get me to look at it and go, you know what? They can run many miles. You're not able to. That hurts. What are you afraid of? And then I really try and replace the fear with knowledge. I try and deal with it. And I usually do pretty well. Sometimes I replace it with food. And then I get guilty because I get afraid I'm going to gain weight. And I'm always afraid that I'm going to console an emotion with food. All I know is whenever I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever you're afraid of or whatever you're struggling with, I can't do it for you, but I'll walk through it with you, that is still true. I may be afraid of a lot of things that I'm not even aware of yet. But one thing I'm not afraid of is to help you do the best you can do with the best information or knowledge or even just humanness of trying to share your experience the best I can. I will do my best for you because I love you enough. And I love you sometimes when I will bet you even you don't feel like you should or you're worth it. Believe me, I've been there too. And you're worth every ounce of energy I have, every bead of sweat, every tear that I could shed, and every little piece of enamel on my teeth that I can grit and go, you're gonna do this. We're gonna get there. And we're gonna do it together. Because no one should have to feel alone. It kind of went off on a tangent, but the end of my point is, when you're afraid, think about, or when you're feeling a negative emotion, think about what the fear is, and trust that I will walk through it with you the best I can, because I love you, and you matter.